Content. Let's talk about content. You like content. You consume a lot of content.
I do.
You're creating some of your own content.
Yeah.
All right, let's jam about that.
You'd say you're big on LinkedIn.
That's what people tell me.
I like to be on LinkedIn. I mean, I got my job where I am now because of LinkedIn.
Okay, let's talk about LinkedIn, how we can use it professionally for growth.
Yeah.
And then also, I don't think businesses quite understand necessarily where the value is as far as LinkedIn. We talk a little bit about that.
This is the Strategy with Jason podcast with your host, Jason Harris.
Thanks, Blake, so much. I appreciate you coming on and
my pleasure.
And chatting with me. It's we're here right now at the ACE Expo in Niagara Falls, and the show's been great so far. Have you been enjoying the show?
Yeah, I rolled in a couple hours ago and walking around, talking with some peeps.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool setup, and I'm super excited and thankful that they allowed me to come down and jam here. Blake, for everybody out there that don't know who you are and how you kind of got in the business, what is that 2-minute origin story that is Blake Bradley?
I have a degree in biology.
I have a degree in biology, so therefore I went into the automotive industry.
I'm a scientist. It's kind of one thing. Sales, I love people.
Yep.
And it was just a natural fit growing up. Friends just being like, hey, man, like, you need to be in sales. And because I genuinely just care about people.
Mm-hmm.
I want to help them. I want to learn about them. And I think that that's something you can't necessarily teach. I want to get down and look people in the eyeballs and say, hey, what makes you tick?
Yeah.
So the automotive industry kind of was presented to me, 8 years ago. And haven't looked back.
It's amazing how the industry just kind of sucks you in, right?
Oh, I love it.
And once you get into it, you get a little bit of a taste for it.
Yeah.
Like you're just in it. It's just
The only bad thing about it is that my friends always come up to me and ask me like if I can help them buy a car.
Oh my gosh, all the time. Every single dinner party I go to,
Yeah.
once they find out that you're in the car business, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, well, let me tell you about the car I just bought.
Yeah.
Or
friends that don't necessarily know you. They just say like
technicians.
Yeah.
Like, my car's making this funky noise. Can you? I'm like,
It's like I am not a
I
mechanic.
am not a mechanic.
I am probably one of the least mechanically inclined people there are.
There are. Right?
It's I really enjoy it, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
So what are you doing right now? Give us a little plug. All right, where are you at right now? What do you do with the company?
eDealer is the company I'm with. Also kind of co-branded with eBlock.
Mm-hmm.
It's an online auction platform. eDealer, we are a very large representation, representative in the automotive digital space with websites for dealerships and their digital marketing. Things are going really well. We're smashing it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, we were talking a little earlier. We were talking about content, and I thought that'd be kind of a great topic to go through because, I think in the last 8 years you've been in the industry, you just kind of done a phenomenal job of you love to consume.
Yeah.
Like, just really learn as much as you can
I like
about
to read.
everything
I like to
out
read
there,
and
deep dive.
share. And
honestly, probably better than me. But
you know
also,
what? You know what? Audiobooks. I don't sit down on a Thursday night and sit down for 2 hours. It's really because we travel so much. You travel.
Yep.
I travel. I'm in the vehicle.
Okay, so what are you listening to right now? I want to know.
Podcast-wise?
Yeah, I'm just curious. Like, what are you consuming?
I'm listening to a book right now called Thinking Fast and Slow.
Okay, yeah.
I'm also so that was deep, like the 19 hours, and it's the idea of kind of like instant responses in people's lives, like things that are triggers, like kind of like fight or flight type of things.
Yep.
Or stopping, pausing, thinking through. It's training. It's seeking how to train your mind to not automatically react to certain situations. Anyways,
Sure.
In terms of podcasts, I'm actually a kind of a crypto nerd.
Are you really? Oh,
Yeah.
wait, I didn't know this because we have talked about this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do got to deep dive into that stuff, don't you?
Yeah, so I listen to quite a few podcasts. Two that kind of come to mind: Off the Chain, and What Bitcoin Did.
Yep.
So, I actually, you know what? I've been thinking about how like cryptocurrency will be involved with automotive.
Yeah.
I actually think what blockchain can do, I actually think could disrupt something like a Carfax.
No, it's quite possible,
Yeah.
right? Because it's the control and the flow of data and how it's being moved around, and it makes
it's
a lot of sense.
it's a decentralized ledger
Yeah.
where you're not. I mean, Carfax might not like this, but
No. I get what you're saying, because right now we're currently paying for that source.
Right.
This would open source the whole
so
bloody
you
thing.
could effectively tokenize a car.
Yeah.
And so
that's
whenever
true.
whenever VIN, right?
Yeah.
Whenever that car gets serviced or whatever, ding, 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 and it's a decentralized ledger, so everyone can just look at it.
Yeah.
Like, what's the history on this car? What's going on?
You could just open up the whole thing. That's actually pretty cool. I never really thought about that, but that actually makes a lot of
and
sense.
not only that, I think it's gonna come to insurance. It's gonna come to, yeah.
Even the way we
All
purchase the
aspects of
car,
the automotive industry.
the way we maintain the car. Look, I think there's, as far as tech goes, I think, and there's a lot of cool stuff that are coming down the pipelines,
Yeah.
right? But it's interesting though. It's because of the content you consume is where you can start to see the bigger picture and those ideas out there, right? And that's what we were kind of about jamming a little bit earlier, was about content and what the value of that content brings, right?
Yeah.
And for dealerships, I don't think we necessarily grasp this concept quite yet. And the reason I feel that they haven't grasped this concept is because take a look at their social media efforts.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I don't ever want to feel like we're always dumping on dealerships, but, for the most part, dealerships are like the most anti-social social media people like in the world, right?
Right.
The content they're putting out there not really necessarily bring value to the
Well,
consumer. It's a lot different than like the Bitcoin and the podcast. You get value. You get
Yeah.
value from listening to this,
Yeah.
so you continue
My
to listen
struggle
to it.
with just trying to teach dealers, about a social media, like Scott Stratton, someone who I respect in marketing and stuff like that. So one thing that I remember him being at I think it was a Kijiji Autos talk, and him just saying like, in order to do social media well, it needs to be done with a purpose, right? And if you're just going to do it for the sake of doing it, then don't do it at all.
Yeah.
Because people are excellent at picking up on motivation, right? And so if you're just in it so dealers, classic dealer move. Well, I'm going to use Facebook. I'm just going to use Instagram, and I'm going to put my inventory there.
Yeah.
And
Pictures of cars or
I'm
prices
going to put
or
my
ads or something
2014
like that.
Honda Civic
Yep.
up on my news feed
Yeah.
on Facebook. So when the people, the 1,000 likes that I have or whatever on Facebook, those people who may see it in their timeline, they're going to see your Honda Civic. Generally, that's not where you go to find a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Now, there's a place like Facebook
Well,
Marketplace where
but-
you can go to consume that, and that's the intention of it. Right?
And that's why Facebook did a great job
Yeah.
of actually separating the two,
Right.
right? Is that the problem is that the content that we put out there has to bring value,
Yeah.
right? You find value in the content that you're consuming. Hence the reason why you continue to go back and listen to the same podcast, right? So I think what it is there's a couple of things. A, we don't always necessarily have a goal or an objective behind putting out the content that we put out, right? Sometimes it's just a good idea.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I see a lot of good ideas floating around right now, when it comes to dealerships and when they're putting out content, But then I see some dealerships that truly do kind of have a goal and objective about it. The goal and objective actually needs to give the content some direction, right? It's just like we don't want to just be, like you said, doing it for the sake of doing it, kind of a thing, right? So you consume a lot of content.
Yeah.
What are you seeing out there, or any examples of people that that are really kind of crushing it at just putting out quality, value-driven content in the automotive space? I'm just curious. And if you say me, I'm gonna blush. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No, from a dealer's perspective.
From a dealer's
you
perspective.
get, like me, you get to be in a lot of different dealerships. So you see dealerships. There's patterns,
Yeah.
right? And there's some dealerships that just crush it better than others.
Yeah. One thing, I don't know if it's an intentional strategy. Someone I think of would be Skinny, Mike Sherrison.
Yeah, Coburg.
Yeah. And now Clarington Nissan.
Yep.
I think he has a really strong following, like on Instagram and stuff. But he has a goal to merchandise cars really well, and it's working. right?
But he educates and entertains through his videos.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the goal. I mean, if you think about the content you consume,
Yeah.
all right, the one that's probably highest on your priority will both educate and entertain you at the same time.
Yeah.
You can hit one aspect of it, and that's okay. Entertainment, look, we do consume some content just for its entertainment factor.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that,
Yeah.
right? Then there are other times where we'll consume content strictly for the education
Yeah.
factor, right? I've listened to some audiobooks. I don't know how in the world they chose the guy to do the voiceover on that, but it's like, it reminds me of that high school teacher from like Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah.
Bueller. But it's okay because I'm consuming it for the education, not necessarily the entertainment.
Yeah, no, I definitely, some of the best books I've listened to, read, have been that combination. Mm-hmm.
I brought both.
Yeah.
Right? They brought both.
Yeah.
And I think it's a dealership.
There's like a compelling story.
Yep.
Shoe Dog, the story of the creator of Nike.
Oh, okay. I know. I haven't
Amazing.
That one. Yeah?
Read it, listen to it.
Yeah.
Great. One called like The Third Door, like it's really, really captivating stuff. What's the one called? One about negotiation. This guy's an FBI, former FBI, world-class negotiator.
Yep.
What's the name of the title? Anyways, I've forgotten it now,
But the point is that all of that
Yeah.
both educated and entertained you at the
Yeah.
exact same point, right? And that's what Skinny does
Yeah.
with his content,
Yeah.
right? And I think at the end of the day, it's all about developing out value, right? It's the same reason why you do your content,
Yeah.
right? As vendors, all right, and we both are, we need to bring, the value that we bring to our clients needs to exceed the service or product that we provide to them.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of interesting. This is a little bit of a, pulling back the curtain, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the reason why I went to LinkedIn in so many ways and just producing content, I'm on the road. I work from home, and I'm kind of by myself in many respects.
Yeah.
And it was kind of an outlet to share,
Yeah.
right? And welcome people into my world, engage with them. Like, I've made some of, amazing friendships through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And like, it's to the point now where dealers know, if I want to get in touch with Blake, just message him on LinkedIn.
No, that's true,
like,
and I'm the exact same way. It's like I got phone calls, text message, email, all this stuff. But if you want to respond to me quick within the next 5 minutes,
Yeah.
you DM me on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yeah, that to me, that just is like another level.
Yeah.
It's like that person knows how I tick.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the beauty, and that's the cool part of putting content out there.
Yeah.
Is that it gives your potential client or potential consumer, all right, a kind of a behind the curtains view of who you are as an individual or who you are as a business,
Yeah.
right? The strategies that like we're employing in creating out a brand and putting out value content
And-
is the exact same that a dealership can do.
And that's the thing. Like, I think I was an early adopter or early believer in this idea of social selling,
Yes.
creating a brand.
Yeah, so how has that been working for you? I mean, you generate leads from your LinkedIn account all the time.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'll have dealers just drop me messages, communicate back and forth through LinkedIn. No, of course, there's texts, there's calls, emails, and stuff like that. But I mean, I just had a job, offer this morning. I mean, that happens. And I'm not. I'll talk with the person, but it's not really for me. It's
Sure.
more to find, hey, can I help you find the right person? I'm
Yep.
very happy with where I am at, right?
Well, and see, that's always kind of been your brand, Blake.
Yeah.
Like either knowingly or unknowingly, all right, is that you have an intent to serve.
Yeah.
It's embedded in you. I think almost at the DNA level.
Yeah.
Is that, and this is a perfect example. Someone reach out to you, don't want to talk about a job, and you're like, nah, I'm not interested, but I want to help you
Yeah.
find another job. And there's no value necessarily. You taking that time to engage with that person and to work with that person, there's no direct value
It's
to
funny
you.
though, because I value it.
See, that's the thing, because that's your intent, that's your purpose.
And that's something I don't think you can teach someone.
No,
right?
and that's what, it's not just at the individual level, but this is what businesses and dealerships need to
Yeah.
find.
Yeah.
They need to find what is their intent.
They need to find the rock star.
What is their purpose,
Yeah,
right?
they need to find the rock star within the dealership
Yeah.
that is going to own it, that's going to live and breathe their Katra.
Yeah. Well, we need to have a face, right?
Yeah.
We need to be able to associate a brand,
Yeah.
with the face. And you know what's funny is actually, if I talk to a lot of people, when I mention the word eDealer, people associate your business more with your face than I think than your boss's face. You know?
Yeah?
Well, it's just because of the presence and the content that you're putting
funny.
out there and the engagement. Dude, you engage with everybody.
It's funny. It's funny. To my shame, I had a gentleman. They were connected, and I don't think we've really went back and forth. But I was walking by today. He's like, "Hey, Blake, how's it going?" I was like, I had to look at his name tag, and I was like,
well, we all
"Hey,
did that.
Chris." Yeah. No, but it's something that it comes with the territory, right?
Yep.
You're putting yourself out there. People don't necessarily. You don't know how much people are watching. Like this that last post about the 40 under 40, right?
Yeah.
They got almost 10,000 views when I posted about just like, hey, thanks a lot, everybody.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
That is crazy.
And I didn't pay a cent.
No. But it's just, you're putting yourself out there. And like I said, it's just because you have intent, you put yourself out there, people get to consume your intent. It's almost like social media is like more authentic and real than when you're actually in person with someone.
So, yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
like the camera can't lie.
I think LinkedIn, social media, blah, 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 money.
Yep.
It just reveals who you are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it gave me a stage, if you will,
sure,
to display who I am.
Yeah.
And so if I'm going to be a servant and help people and be excited to do that and get to know people, I mean, people are people. I don't get intimidated to meet anyone. Like I could meet Justin Trudeau. I could meet Donald Trump.
Yep.
High world official. People are people, and they've got their problems. I've got my problems, right?
Well, you're empathetic.
Yeah,
and that's always been kind of your thing as well.
Right. And so
what advice would you give to dealerships out there that are considering going down this path, going down this direction of creating this online presence through content development? What advice would you give them? What would be 2 or 3 pointers? Hey guys, here's something really important to think about before you do it.
One thing that's coming to mind is authenticity.
Yeah.
Like you cannot fake authenticity. It's oxymoron, right?
Yep.
Like it's we're not playing it's not a masquerade. Mm-hmm. And people are excellent BS detectors.
Oh yeah, they
smell it from a mile away.
100%.
Right? You cannot fake it. I don't like the idea of fake it till you make it type thing. Mm-hmm. Like people's, I just I don't know. I just don't believe in that because I think people see through it.
100%
right?
They do.
Like I remember being involved with a multi-level marketing thing when I was first into sales, and I never knew what a multi-level marketing level thing was. But I was just like, I just started seeing everyone as a dollar bill, and I was like, okay, who am I gonna hit up, and who am I gonna get? And people don't want to talk with you.
No. If they feel that your agenda is self-serving, then they don't want to open up to you as a brand.
Yeah.
You're not able to create that brand equity.
I think you're onto something there. Motivation. What's your
defining
motivation?
What your motivation
What's
is.
your motivation?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's where I'm kind of piecing this together.
But no, it kind of goes hand in hand, right? In fact, actually, I think those are 2 great pieces of advice for anybody out there. You're a small business or a dealership, it really doesn't really matter, right? And you're contemplating going down this direction and creating this online presence through content. I love what you're saying is define what motivates you, all right, and then be authentic about it. And that truth, that combination of it, when you create the content, it comes out, and people want to relate with that and be a part of it.
I'm a firm believer, truth and time go hand in hand.
Oh, I like that. That's really good.
Right?
Totally true. Yeah, 100%.
It will all come out in the wash.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm just throwing out these nice, beautiful cliche statements.
Well, Blake, man, thank you so much for jamming with me. I really, really appreciate it. I'll let you go enjoy the rest of the show. But
My pleasure.
For anybody out there that would like to connect with you and learn a little bit more about what you do, where's the best way to do that?
Yeah, LinkedIn, seriously. If that's not evident enough.
Yeah.
Blake Bradley is my name. I'd love to help you out.
Awesome, man.
For dealers that are interested in what we do. Even I can just consult with you, ask you questions, learn about your dealership, and if we can help, great. If we can't, great.
That's what I love about Blake, man. It's just your intent. You really authentically, all right. And one of your motivations, you just want to help others, man.
Yeah.
It's your core, it's your DNA, man. Hey, thanks again, dude.
Take care.
Really
Thanks for
appreciate it.
having me.
That was a lot of fun.